So when you say this new wave of Twitch,
young people want to watch young people. They don't want to watch the old man. So once you're the old man, you're no longer appealing to the young audience. They say weird things.
Cook, Riz, all that stuff. And that's I know the lingo is because my kids, they play Roblox. They're like, oh man, I'm cooked, chat, I'm cooking. I'm like, kids, there is no chat. Well, I know you love mixed martial arts.
I seen you knock out Wing C with a crazy kick. I'm really interested to see Paddy Pimblett's next fight and seeing what he can do with that. Because, bro, he was cooking him. He was cooking him. I see what I'm doing.
Oh, it's 15 time. World champion, Demetrious Johnson. You're listening to the MightyCast.
What's going on, guys? This episode of the MightyCast, we have a special guest. I'm going to set the stage for you guys because I know a lot of you guys are from the mixed martial arts world, but if you guys have been following me for a very, very long time, you guys know my true passion is gaming. And we are having on Summit1g. Now, this gentleman has been in the gaming space for about 14 years. He's been consistent on Twitch for a very, very, very long time. Right now, he is grinding pretty much 24/7 on Twitch, playing games like CSGO, Escape from Tarkov, Foxhole. I mean, you name it, he has played the game and he has streamed it, and he was a very high level player in CSGO. So guys, I hope you guys enjoy this chat with Summit1g. But before that, this episode of the MightyCast is sponsored by PrizePicks. Now, PrizePicks is a daily fantasy sports game we play directly from your phone or your computer. It's very simple. Go to the App Store, download PrizePicks, and when you do that, use my promo code MightyCast. Cool promotion going on right now. You play $5 in your lineup, and you're gonna get $50 in your lineup. Now, guys, NFL season is here, and make sure you guys take a look at the max discount square. Very easy to find that. Just look for the max discount, and then you lock that in. That's pretty much a free W. You're gonna get a free W on that square. Just get those picks in at PrizePicks. Now, shout out to PrizePicks for sponsoring this episode of the MightyCast. Now, I hope you guys enjoy this chat with Summit1g. What's going on, boys? Welcome back to another episode of the MightyCast. And we're joined by one of the greatest CSGO players and one of the greatest streamers. He's still grinding away on Twitch. Please help me welcome Jared, aka Summit1g. How you doing, brother?
Hey, how's it going, man? Thanks so much for having me, bro. I don't know about the best Counter-Strike player.
Hey, man. Hey,
but you know,
you did some big things in CSGO. Come on, don't.
Yeah, we moved. We got some movement.
Yeah. Uh-oh, there's a puppy. How's life been, man?
Yeah.
I was literally watching you stream last night, and I will say I am impressed that you're able to continue to stream after so many years of doing it and still enjoying it and still put on great content.
Yo, thanks so much, man. Thanks so much. Yeah, I've been around a long time, still trucking. I don't know. It's a weird combination of being addicted to video games and streaming at the same time that I can just every day just feels good to me. I don't know. It feels good. I like doing it.
Well,
it's fun times.
But don't you feel like the gaming and I want to vibe out with you about this. Do you feel, you know, when it came to streaming at the very beginning, it was Justin.tv and it was more about IRLs, you know, people doing crazy stuff. And then eventually it became Twitch. Twitch got purchased by Amazon. Once it got purchased by Amazon, it got a strict code of conduct that nobody, I mean, it was basically PG, right?
Yeah.
And now you look at it, I feel like it's going back to IRL streams where IRL streams are, you know, I was watching Kai Cenat stream the other day with Kim Kardashian. I'm like, what the, I didn't watch it, but I saw a clip. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? You're sitting here. I don't know. Maybe because I'm on status. I'm 40. I'm almost 40. So when I see these people sitting there hitting each other on top of the head with a thing, I feel
that shit's so funny.
I feel that it's almost a trend that at the beginning was IRLs, then it was so focused on gaming, and now it's back to IRLs. You got Rampage Jackson doing Taco Tuesday and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
But I feel like you kind of stayed in the lane of just gaming, like not following the path of like the trends of, oh, it's IRL, it's gaming, it's IRL. How are you able to do that and still stay focused and in that lane of just purely gaming?
To be fair, I mean, dude, the website's past me and like how far you can get in the website. Kai's doing crazy things like you were just talking about. Kim Kardashian is throwing tables at you in your house. It's kind of, you're in a weird world. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a different place. So yeah, you know, dude, I think that I've kind of been grandfathered in a little bit when it comes to the metas of Twitch. I won't like be able to like ride a crazy wave like some of these guys will, but I have like a really diehard audience that's down to chill with me every day. And like you said, man, it is super weird to see how it's gone from Justin TV IRL stuff to gaming back to IRL. Everything's going full circle. There's a little part of me that hopes it comes back to gaming a little bit more, but it is really cool to see. It's actually really weird too to see how different a generation is growing up with streaming, you know, there from the get-go rather than being discovered kind of like we did. So it's like, man, I mean, kind of like you were talking about the Kim Kardashian thing. A throwback for me was, which was so weird, was I was on stream one day and everybody's kicking up prom streams. And I was like, holy crap, what a weird time. Because I remember when my prom happened, I didn't even have a cell phone yet. Yep. You know what I mean? So it's just a whole different world. And yeah, but it's super cool to see. I like seeing how far Twitch has come and a lot of the new people really showcasing how far you can take it. It's fucking wild, to be honest. But yeah, it's been cool. It's been cool.
And I think it's fascinating to hear, because you're 38, so we're about the same age. And I feel like the IRL at the beginning, and then when it went to gaming, I felt like that's when gaming was booming. Like the gaming industry was on fire. You know, you had a little bit of both. You had the CSGO, you had the tournaments, the MLG, you had everything. And now it's like, I'll jump on Twitch and I'm just like, what am I watching? It's like, I don't even know what to watch anymore. And for you, I saw you playing a game. It was like an overhead game, and you're running in the snow. And I'm like, what the hell? What is he doing?
Going on? Yeah, I just kind of play weird games sometimes. I'll go with like a little bit of the main jammers, kind of make sure everybody's happy on the channel. I'm not kind of beating everybody with a boring stick, and but every once in a while I got to make myself happy and play the weirdo games. But yeah, it is a weird game. It's Foxhole. It's like it's two factions. It's a very long, persistent war, and it's a top-down war game. It's kind of like if you've ever played Command and Conquer. Yep. It's like Command and Conquer, but instead of two commanders playing against each other, each unit is a person and they just have to figure it out how to make something work. You know what I mean? So it's definitely interesting. But yeah, it's a weird world on Twitch, I guess, is what we're getting at here.
Is it RTS, like real time strategy?
It's almost kind of like that, but instead of like a commander making decisions on what you're doing, you guys as the little individual units as a team have to figure out how you want to go about like taking a front or defending a position or that sort of thing, which is kind of the challenge. Like, how much can strangers on an army come together to, fight off a force? Like, what can you guys accomplish as 5 people here? You know what I mean? Or 10 people over here. I don't know. It's just kind of a wild thought to me, I guess. So like the game kind of plays out like that. There's a lot of different ways to play it. Like logistics is everything. Logistics is like the guys in the back line that are bringing all the weapons and stuff to the front line. And like they say, logistics wins wars. And it's really cool because you got like a whole group of people that like doing that, a whole group of people like to fight at the front. And it's just like, I don't know, big collective unit all working like a machine.
How many people play on a team? Or is everybody like you're a single unit, there's another person? Yeah. Is it like 50 on 50 or is it what's the
it's more like, I would say on the days that are so like prime time, it would be 5,000 or 6,000 people on the game at a time. So in a single server, there's only 2 wars usually that go on at a time. So in the main server, I would say if there was 5,000 people online, probably like 3.5 of those guys are probably all in one server. So it'd be like, yeah, do the math there. What, 1 point something versus 1 point something.
Oh my goodness.
Across like a very giant map, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's pretty cool, I think,
Yeah. How long does usually a war last? Because that's a lot of coordinated between a lot of people. I'm sure you guys aren't on Discord. Nobody's using TeamSpeak. So you guys
sometimes the guilds and those they're the regiments. I'm sorry, is what they call them. Yeah, they go on Discords and stuff like that. They have like individuals that will team up and do stuff, but then they have the big regiments that will do like beach assaults and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. But yeah, like you're saying, how long does the wars last? The last war just lasted 69 days. And the one before that, I think, was 72. Yeah.
69
they're
days?
serious shit. Yeah, real days.
Dude,
it's crazy,
that
bro.
sounds like Rust to me. When I first started playing Rust, you build your fort and you have your guys, you're all hanging out. And then I was like, all right, guys, we did good. I'm gonna go to bed. I come back to the server the next day, all my shit is gone. I'm like, what just happened? and nobody told me about it. Everybody was like, oh, dude, like, if you don't come back, you know, fast enough or whatever, or somebody's not guarding the base.
Someone's taking your shit.
Somebody's taking your shit. And I was like, they're like, this is like real life. I was like, what the oh my God. That's what it sounds like with that game. Like, I could not imagine a 69-day war. And
yeah,
wow.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I like it.
Well, here's...
I've seen the beginning of a war. I've seen the end of a war. I've never been in an entire war. They're long.
You see the beginning, you see the fucking... You come at the end and you're like, all right, guys, good job.
Yeah.
GG's.
Let's go, boys.
Good
Let's
G's.
get shit.
Fucking love that.
We did good.
Do you ever miss gaming how it was back in the day? And I'm going to set the stage for you, right? We're the same age.
Okay.
Like, I tell everybody all the time, like, I miss going to, you know, Electronic Boutique or GameStop, whatever it was, you know, where you lived, picking up a cartridge, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, going home, playing it, and, you know, sitting there, you know, I just played Donkey Kong 1 with my my oldest. And we're playing and we're just laughing. We're just laughing. And I was like, you see this, son? This is real gaming right here.
This is old school stuff.
We're not worried about the DLC. We're not worried about, you know, playing with 1,000 people online. It's just me and you gaming. And I feel that you don't see, I feel like maybe streaming is a part of that because, you know, you look at Battlefield 6, which is about to come out. You have a lot of games that are coming out, and right when it comes out, everybody's asking, oh, I wonder what the in-game content's like. Or I wonder what the PvP aspect, I wonder what the online play is. Even the new World of Warcraft game that's coming out, midnight. Yeah. Everybody's like, what's the in-game? What's the raid like? I feel like nobody's appreciating the journey through the game. And then once you get to the end of it, it's like, you walk away and like, wow, that was an amazing gaming experience.
That was. Yeah, you know, old school style definitely has its charm. You know what I mean? I feel like we came up through some of the best times in gaming. You mentioned Nintendo 64 cartridges. I think of GameStop and Blockbuster. You know what I mean? Yep. I still remember when I rented like WWF 2000 like 4 or 5 times in a row from Blockbuster. I couldn't get enough of it. I always make my character look exactly like The Rock, but I'd put pants on him. Yeah. But yeah, you know, it's video games. It's crazy because it's just like MMA in a way. It's like, it's so new. If you look at the beginning times of MMA, I mean, there's people punching each other in the balls, you know, doing like grappling for like 30 minutes straight, you know, no rules type of shit. And the expectations of not only has the skill set grown but like, the skill set has grown. The rule set has evolved. The stage has evolved. Everything is the same in gaming, right? Yep. It's like we're not playing in a cafe Lancer anymore with the opponent, you know, right in front of me, and with other opponents right behind my chair, watching my computer screen. You know, people are on stages and giant crowds hitting things, and yeah, it's kind of crazy to see. And it's like the same thing I feel like in casual gaming too. Like as gamers have gotten better, they've also their expectations have gotten different too. You know what I'm saying? While we were happy with the Donkey Kong beforehand, now it's like we're looking for things with like almost like progression. Like, how can I play this game the longest time possible? You know, what can I do on it? You know? And I think that's the expectation. So like when Battlefield 6 comes out, that's actually one of my first questions is like, what kind of stuff is there to unlock, you know, to look forward to, you know, to grind for. So I think, we come from like a simpler time of video games where it was so new that we would have taken anything that was in front of us that we can move, you know what I mean? But now that it's been out for so long, I think just skill set and expectations are so much different, you know? Yeah.
It breaks my heart because I like how you said it had a charm to it, because I was playing, I hooked up my Nintendo Switch to the big screen TV. My daughter, she's been playing Street Fighter 2. She beats Chun-Li or Dhalsim. My wife played a little bit too.
Okay.
And I'm like, God, this is good gaming. And now when I look to the future, like, I'm like, okay, you know what? Because I used to stream a lot on Twitch, and I was always being pigeonholed to play UFC 4. And I was like, guys, I don't want to play UFC 4. I want to play what I want to play. They're like, we want to see UFC 4. We want to fight you. But I was like, you know
Play
what?
your own character.
Yep, exactly. So they can kick my ass like I kicked your ass all the time. But that's when I got the most views. That's when I got the most the best content and the most viewership. But then I told myself, you know, I'm taking a step back. I started playing Marvel Rivals when I'd stream, but Marvel Rivals would always trip my breaker because I have the 50, I think it's a 5040 RTX. It draws so much power when I'm hitting the Eye of Agamotto that it goes boom. So I'm like, fuck. And so I was like, you know what? I'm not going to stream Marvel Rivals anymore. I'm going to try to get back into streaming and play like...
What the heck's the Eye of Agamotto? Is that your guy's ultimate?
Yeah, that's Dr. Stream, the Eye of Agamotto.
Oh, that's what that is. Dude, it sounded weirdly familiar when you said it, but I still had no idea what it was. Okay, yeah.
Each time I hit that, the breaker flips because it's just so much... I guess the 5040 RTX, it just draws so much power. And I don't know why. I've been trying to get it fixed, but I just haven't been able to.
There's no way you're being seen. This is a real problem?
This is a legit problem. That's why I haven't.
No way.
Yes. Each time
my gosh.
Each time I play
You're telling me this dude, this superhero hits a move that's too powerful for your computer to keep trucking through?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. That's crazy. Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
That dude's strong.
Well, it's even like if I do Bucky and I do his special, it's just like when it's just when the GPU pulls so much power to do something, it just flips the breaker. And then I have to run upstairs, flip it again. And then you know how it is when you're streaming. If the stream drops, everyone's like, rip.
Of course.
And then you got to start it back up. So it's just, I kind of stay away from it. But I feel like I'm going to get back. I want to get back into streaming and just playing. The games I have my eye on is Resident Evil's Requiem and Onimusha Way of the Samurai. I was like, here it is again. We're back to bringing back that charm where it's a single player game. I'm not worried about the DLC.
I love Resident Evil games.
And I just can't wait for those games. But you seem to find just random games all the time. And you still have, I just how do you manage that grind? How do you manage it?
Barely. I'll say that, barely. It's one of the worst things as a streamer when you're in a game rut. And I feel like I've been in a semi game rut for the last 6 months where I'm just barely finding games that are kind of keeping my attention. You know, Battlefield 6 comes out, holds me for a few days, you know what I'm saying? And then I just got my little niche games. I don't know, man. It's I mean, you can ask the chat how many times they've had to go down the Steam rabbit hole with me to try to find something just for that day to figure out what I wanted to do. So it does. I do find them, but it is a pain in the ass when there's not anything coming out that you're excited for as a streamer. You know what I mean? Because it's then it turns into a different type of grind. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. Not like a bad time, but it's not like you want to wake up after 4 hours of sleep and you're just like, fuck it, dude, I got to get back on. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, you messaged me at 3 a.m. last night. I was like, he must have just got done with that war. How did you take it to the beginning. How did you get into streaming and how were you able to turn something that was a passion into a source of income? You were able to monetize it, right? I think a lot of people don't realize that, it has to start as a passion and then eventually it turns into a point where you can actually monetize it, not just from the fan support, but even having activations, which are very rare nowadays, I feel like, from different gaming studios.
Yeah, the activations have actually kicked up a little bit more in the last couple years than they used to back then. The sponsors back then were more long, not that they're not anymore. They are. They're more long term. We'll pay you such and such per month for you to represent keyboard, mouse, headset, energy drink, monitors. You know what I mean, sort of thing. Now there's a lot of video game companies that are like, yo, play our game for a couple hours, play this for a couple hours, watch this for a couple hours. There's a lot more of that going on actually nowadays. And yeah, there was not always money on Twitch. It was just a hobby for a lot of people beforehand. The only person that I even knew was kind of making money back in those days, and it's only even what I heard of was Soda Poppin'. And that's kind of like Soda Poppin' was a big guy that I based a lot of my stream off of. And so, yeah, when I got started, it was just, I had heard about it while I was working at Howie's Game Shack, which is a LAN center. You remember Cafes, LAN centers, we were just talking about it. I worked at one, and that's where I learned about streaming. I was hanging out in my manager's office. We somehow came across it, and I was like, I want to do that for Counter-Strike. I was a heavy Counter-Strike player. I was competitive, and I thought I was pretty good. So I wanted to, I was thinking at the time, like, I want to show my skills off. You know what I mean? I didn't think it was going to be like, oh, I really want to like talk to people and hang out with people. So yeah, when I got started, it wasn't even on Twitch. It was actually on Owned 3D. Owned. I don't know if you remember that website. Don't. It was their only competitor at the time. But the thing about Twitch back then is they didn't have a Counter-Strike category. So I was like, fuck, I guess I'll just go to Owned, you know what I mean? And I'll just play Counter-Strike there. And I'd get like 20, 30 viewers, but nobody really talked on Owned was the thing. And I was just kind of like, I didn't really like the feeling of like having a viewer number, but not seeing that like translate to to communication. Yeah. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to make the transition to Twitch, because I think at that time they actually did have 1.6 as a game category. I think back then I was playing 1.6. CSGO wasn't even out yet. So then I went to Twitch, like, 10 viewers, 15 viewers, something like that. And then the first kick for the channel was when CSGO came out. So CSGO comes out, and I'm one of the very few streamers who's even on 1.6 consistently, right? Nobody's fucking playing that game really on stream with a camera either, mind you. I took a leap and was like, fuck it, I want to do a camera. And nobody else on Counter-Strike at that time was even doing a camera. This is such a weird time. If you think about today, it's so, you have to have one, it's completely normal to have one. Dude, nobody in the Counter-Strike category had a fucking camera. It's so weird. CSGO comes out, blows up a little bit. Not even blows up, honestly. Just kind of like has a launch, right? My channel goes from 20 viewers, 15 viewers to like 200, 250 is kind of like where it goes. Damn. And then it just kind of like goes from that point, and other games come out and they snowball the channel a little bit. And that's kind of how the whole thing starts. But yeah, guys like Soda Poppin' were really like only making money through donations, because the word on the street back in the day was like he had some like Dubai princes or something like that, that were really like World of Warcraft. They were donating them lots of money. But yeah, once partnerships, the partnership was actually a lot harder to get back then too. I don't know if you remember that. It was like
you have to reach a certain threshold in order even to get there, and then you would you wouldn't even have to apply for it. You would just get it essentially. And then it came to a point where it's like now you reach that threshold, and then you would have to apply for it. And I can't remember how many times people have gotten denied. It's like you're truly going to deny me the opportunity to make money on your platform with my viewership, my fan base. Like,
it's definitely weird.
Continue.
Yes, it's a different process now. It's just a different process nowadays. Plus, they have the couple different processes right now. Now they have the affiliate plus the sub thing, right? Mm-hmm. Back then, it was just a full blown. It was just the one partnership style. It was the 50-50 split, and it was you had to have like. I want to say it's hard to remember exactly what the concurrents were, but I want to say it was like something like 400 concurrent viewers before you would really be taken seriously on getting a partnership with them. So it was like that was something that it was kind of unattainable, to be honest with you. It didn't really happen to a lot of people, so it was pretty cool when it did happen, and money finally exceeded the job that I had quit to start doing the streaming stuff. But yeah. That's streaming did not always have money involved, especially not even fucking close to the money it has today. Sponsors back then weren't even, because you don't know what your value is. You're so fresh, you're so new, you're such a new community. You don't know what your value is to pitch to a sponsor. So a sponsor's just hitting you up for $1,000 here, a couple grand there. And then it wasn't until like real agencies started getting involved. Actually, it was Twitch that rolled in, at least from my point of view, perspective, like Twitch rolled in an agency crew. And then they started helping us kind of get what we, I guess, get our value a little bit more from developers and from companies. And then the person that I knew that was just working at Twitch as one of those dudes, he was so good at it and was good at working with me. He ended up leaving Twitch, making a company called Loaded. And then I rolled with him, I think, along with like Tim the Tap Man back in those days. And then that's how Loaded got started. And I'm still with them to this day. I still contact and work with that person to this day. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a little process through Twitch on how it went from basically zilch to making crazy money today. I can't even believe how much money it is today.
Well, I'll never forget. There was a point in time where Microsoft was, I had one of my old coach's friends. He used to work on Microsoft. Now he's at Facebook, I believe. I'm not sure. But he told me that process that Microsoft was looking to buy Twitch before Amazon did. And then once they're passing up, but they're like, we don't really want it. Once Amazon bought it, and then Amazon kind of made it what it is today, that's when they started to make it. What was their, not Kick?
Mixer.
They're like, we're just going to repeat the process, pay, Shroud and Ninja to come over. Obviously, that didn't work, and they got paid the fuck out. But it's crazy just to see, dude, you've been on Twitch the whole entire time. You've never switched. I know now, it's funny because right now everybody is in mixed martial arts where we're talking about exclusivity contracts and all that stuff, where at one point in time, dude, it's right now in UFC, you're an exclusive athlete. You want to fight for the UFC. You can't fight for one. You can't fight for PFL. And the same thing for those athletes. So right now in jiu-jitsu, they just had CJI 2, and that event, the first one, got kind of brought on because they're trying to pay the athletes a lot more money, and 2, try to keep away exclusivity. Because once the exclusivity, you can't have, the best athletes compete against each other, right?
That's true.
So I remember a point in time in Twitch, there's an exclusive contract. You only could stream on Twitch. You couldn't, if you're a partner, you couldn't stream on YouTube or Mixer or whatever. I mean, Facebook had one. Facebook Gaming had one. I remember they had Max Holloway. They had Ronda Rousey. But now, see, this, people don't realize this. Now everybody just looks at Twitch.
Forgot about that.
Everybody just looks at Twitch as, Twitch is the best place to be, which I think it is one of the best places to be. But you've stayed there. You've never gone. You never jumped ship to Mixer, Facebook Gaming. Like, was there a reason for that? Because I'm sure they offered you a bag, right?
Yeah, I got offered a Mixer bag. Because it's, I mean, the simple answer is, I'm not here for the short term. I'm here for the long term. And I'm not. If it feels like career suicide, then I probably won't do it. You know what I mean?
So you think
that's generally.
So I'm not saying that you think it's like other guys who I've had Ninja on the podcast before, and he talked about when he was at his peak, when he did that, the collab stream with Drake and all like the musicians, and he was at the highest peak, and then now he's not at the highest peak anymore. It's only when he plays Fortnite, and he was like, that endorphin release, like I'm always searching for that next high. Do you think those guys taking those contracts? Shroud's still doing well. Ninja's still doing well. What made you think it was going to be career suicide? Like, what part of it was you're like, nope, I know a trap when I see one. Not that I was a trap, but you get my gist.
I think you just have to be able to look at things in reality. I just kind of understand where I sit in the Twitch world. I know where my audience is, and I know that I'm just not quite at the level of dudes who can make that switch. I just see myself as not being able to, because you've seen both happen. Yep. You've seen guys who successfully make the switch, and you've seen guys who don't successfully make the switch. And I just simply put myself in the category that I don't think I would be one of the guys who can successfully make a switch without it affecting my long-term career on Twitch. So it was just like, do I want to make a shitload of money now, or do I want to just make sure that I'm making what I'm making for as long as I can? You know what I'm saying? And it was just I just chose the one that was. I'm so scared to fuck up this opportunity. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be the guy that makes a really fucked up mistake and loses everything. You know what I mean? But I feel that's generally it.
I feel like, one, I think it's a great mindset to have, right? Because a lot of people see the bulk of the money up front instead of thinking about the long term. And two, I feel like you've got to be streaming now for, my son's 12. So you started before me. So you got to be streaming for like 15 years now, right? 15?
2012, so I'd say 13 going on 14.
Yeah, that's a long time. So you built
I don't even know where it went.
But I think you've built a steady community that supports you. Whatever game you're playing, I think each time I clock in on you, you're about maybe 3,000 to 6,000, maybe 10 to 15, depending on the game, right? You never.
Yeah, it just depends. That's one of the things that showcases what you're capable of as an individual too, right? How much does my viewership fluctuate from game to game versus someone who's very personality driven? They're not losing as much game to game. So I consider that platform switch something similar to that. Just throwing that out there since you brought that up. But yeah, but what was the question again? I forgot.
No. Well, you brought up a good question for me, because how do you mentally battle through that, right? Like I mentioned it earlier on when we were chatting, is that when I play UFC 4 or 3, numbers are through the fucking roof. But when I want to play like, you know, Street Fighter 6 or, you know, Resident Evil 7, it's like 20 viewers. It's just a huge drop off. How do you manage that? Because, you know, luckily I'm in a space, and I'm sure you are now, I'm in a space where I don't really stream for the monetization, right? Like when I stream, I get donations. It basically goes in the pool to help pay for graphics. And
you're just chilling. You're just doing something for fun. You like to do it, right?
Exactly. But there was a point in time where I was like, man, oh God, I need more viewerships, because we know more viewership brings in more dollars. So how do you battle that?
You know, gosh, man, I've always had a very simple theory. I guess I'm a simple person. I've always gone with the theory that I'm a main. It's always been impossible for like to be a variety streamer on Twitch. It's one of the most sought after and difficult things to make work on Twitch and be successful is to be a variety streamer. So, you know, shout out to guys like Lyric and Co Carnage, who have been doing that successfully for a very long time. My theory has always been, if you want to transition from a main game streamer to eventually somewhat, I'll say, of a variety streamer, I've always done my main game hours. And then when those hours are done, I leave myself the availability to switch to nighttime hours. And nighttime hours, I just tell myself, like, I'm not there for the bulk audience. I'm there for myself and a new audience, right? And not to mention, it's another thing. It hits on your bulk audience more than you think too, because your bulk audience is used to you watching this one thing.
Yep.
So when you switch to another thing, their first reaction is really get the fuck out of Dodge. But if you're doing it consistent enough, then you slowly get your bulk audience used to seeing you in other environments. So it's not such it's not such a foreign area when you go there. You know what I'm saying? And so they don't feel, it doesn't, you're like, the uncomfortable setting doesn't transition to your audience. Like they don't feel that because they're used to seeing you do it all the time. So it's like you may lose a lot of your audience, but at the same time, you may gain a little bit. Don't get me wrong. It's a very little bit. You might only gain 10 people that night or something to hit the follow button from this other category that you've swapped to. But nonetheless, over a long period of time, you will have people discover your channel through weird areas like that. And then at the same time, have your bulk audience slowly getting accustomed to seeing you in strange areas of games. So I just think that's like, I don't know. I feel like losing a little bit of viewership at the end of your stream that's 10 times worth it, you know?
Yeah. Well, I agree with you. That's one of the things I love about doing the podcast is my passion that'll always be closest to my heart is always going to be gaming, right? I love gaming. It would always be there. And even though I always talk to athletes, I'm always fascinated by gamers, other people who have different walks of life. And I always like to pick gamers' brains because I used to be in your shoes where I'm looking for that next game. I'm gonna play Elden Ring. Oh, brand new game's coming out. I gotta be the first one to stream it. I gotta get the most views in order to get there.
Yeah.
But to see you still in there grinding away, and I always like to ask, like, what's your mindset when it comes to, because I think a lot of streamers want to be that variety streamers where they can play whatever game they want, where you're stuck in that boat. It's like, well, I'm playing, what's the name? Escape from Tarkov. Oh, it's a new wipe. Escape from Tarkov. Oh, there goes a cheater. Just killed me. Oh, what's his name?
You still got to get back on Escape from Tarkov.
Yeah. What's his name? He's one of the biggest Tarkov streamers. There's Pestily. He streams Tarkov all the time. And then Landmark. That's all he plays. And I saw he was trying to get away from.
He transitions really well nowadays, actually. He's doing pretty good at moving around. He hangs out with us, me and Hutch.
Okay.
He does like sponsored stuff too, which I also don't think is a bad way to get people to see you in a different game too. It's like, fuck it, you're playing a sponsor game. They'll watch you play that shit, you know? So yeah, Landmark's doing a little better than, he's not getting stuck in that category at least. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. People do get stuck in categories.
You see it. And I just, I don't know if you obviously know who Dwayne Johnson is. He just did the Smash Machine, and he did an interview, he said that, you know, for the longest time when I was in Hollywood, I was pigeon-toed into this is what I was going to do. Like Fast and the Furious 7, Fast and the Furious 21, you know, the red light, all like the action base. And he's like, you know what? When I did the Smashing Machine, the Mark Kerr, you know, documentary, he goes,
looks cool.
It looks great. I can't fucking wait to watch it. He goes, I did that for me. I'm tired of doing what everybody wants me to do. But I feel like you get to that point once you make all that money. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I feel like, you know, you're sitting pretty well. You're going 14 years of streaming. You don't have any children, right? And and are you married, single?
Married.
You're married. And she's also a streamer too, correct?
Yeah. She does dibble dabbles in streaming.
Yeah. So you guys are like, at one point you're like, you know what, guys? For 1 month, I'm gonna play where the fuck I want. You can show up or not, but I need this for my soul. I need this, right? Because I would assume you're financially stable enough where you're like, you can take a hit for a month, right? You might lose maybe, you know, a couple of viewers, maybe a lot, but you're financially okay to do that.
Yeah, I'm good enough to kind of make those decisions without having any consequences for them. It's there's a weird thing. It's no matter how much I want to play my own games, I still want to maintain like this I'm a good streamer or I do my best to be a good streamer thing going on. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like I still have the same things that I think about today that I thought about my first few years, which is like, how much am I talking to chat? Like, you know, it's been like 15 minutes since you looked at your left fucking monitor. You know what I mean? And it's just like, mostly what I'm thinking about is how much am I interacting and involving my chat and whatever the fuck I'm doing? And I fail that a lot, to be honest with you. And I even will be thinking to myself, if I did that more, would I be doing a little bit better? So I'm not 100% like past like the hurdle of don't even have to think about your stream anymore, your numbers, any of that shit. I still really do, to be honest with you. Not so much in the same ways as I used to, like really thinking about the sub count or really thinking about the viewer number specifically, but more so like I have like this audience that's been around for a long time. Like I'd like to maintain that audience and make sure that I'm doing everything every day to make that happen. Because, you know, everybody's individual, bro. No one owes you shit. So it's not like these people just show up because, you know, because you're a charity case. They, you know, it's because you're making their day a little bit better or fun or taking their mind off something or just being a second monitor, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, I got to be there. You know, so I try to make sure I am, I guess, is still like the mentality.
Yeah. How many hours a week do you stream? Like, what's your schedule like?
I don't know. My schedule is I get up and I just stream until I can't anymore.
What?
Really? Yeah. I just.
How many days a week?
7.
Oh my God. So how often do you leave the house?
Not often.
Oh my God.
Not often. But here's the thing. It's like it's not been like that my whole career. It's just been like that for like the last year or like couple years because I've just been what can I say, head down, really making sure I'm getting through this new wave of Twitch. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to be completely left behind. You know, I do want to still remain somewhat relevant in the Twitch space so that my career can remain. So I definitely can put my fucking head down and play some video games. So I've been doing that, you know?
So when you say this new wave of Twitch, what is this new wave you're talking about? Explain that to me.
The IRL wave, the Kai Cenats, you know, the new ninjas that are really cracked FPS players and, you know, just youngsters really, you know, young people want to watch young people. They don't want to watch the old man. So once you're the old man, you're no longer appealing to the young audience. You get what I'm saying though? You know, they say weird things. When I was a kid, I was saying tight, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they say things like, I don't even know what the fuck they say, to be honest. Like, you know, they're getting cooked. And
I feel you know, it's the first time, typically you hear that from an athlete. You hear that from athletes like in mixed martial arts. You have the new guard, right? You know, Luke Rockhold, he just fought Darren Till he got knocked out. He's 40 years old. And he was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm not going to fight more. So he's 40, right? Granted, he fought Darren Till. Darren Till's about 32, 33. So he's a young buck. But typically, you know, you have Alex Volkanovski. He fought Ilya Topuria. Ilya Topuria was pretty young. So obviously, the old man, the older athlete is trying to keep up with the younger athlete.
With the younger dudes.
Where
yep.
I'm hearing you saying like, I got to keep up with the new generation. They're saying shit like Cook, Riz, all that stuff. And that's
the Riz,
that's the first time I've heard
or something like that.
Yeah, it's the first time I heard a gamer say that about the younger generation. Only reason why I know the lingo is because my kids, they play fucking Roblox, right? So they're like, oh man, I'm cooked, chat, I'm cooked. And I'm like, there is, dude, I was like, and I tell the kids, I'm like, kids, there is no fucking chat. You're not streaming. You're playing video games. But like, Dad, it's just a lingo. And I'm like, don't say it again.
No way.
Dude.
That is so funny.
Yeah. So you're trying to keep up with them, but don't you feel that you have a stable community that's going to, of course, but you're trying to get the newer.
Who knows? You never know in the streaming world who's going to hit what audience you're going to step into, what game is really just going to hit. Yeah, and I'm just sitting around just doing my thing, and maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. But regardless, I want to be around and making sure, and like I said, it kind of goes back to one of those things. It's like, I don't want to fuck up this opportunity.
Yep.
Like, I've been given this opportunity. I don't really I wasn't really prepared for in life. I was working shit jobs, bro. I was prepared to work shit jobs my whole life. You know what I mean? So when now that I got this, can't fuck it up.
Yep.
Need to be there, even through the young guns. Showcasing really good, FPS skills and personalities and the whole shebang. I mean, even like Tim the Tap Man, he'll even say that the wave of Twitch is completely shifted more towards IRL. Right? He was even saying that not too long ago to his stream. So yeah, it's just a shift. I can feel it. I can see it. And
wow.
I know of some other streamers from that were a little bit before me that maybe didn't see the shift happen and didn't go forward with anything and kind of were just happy, settled into their position. And I just don't want to be completely settled. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to. Yeah.
Are those streamers still around, or are they like, fuck?
Some of them.
Some of
them are still around, and some of them are. Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, I feel like there comes a point, like even for me, when I look at like doing the MightyCast and the YouTube channel, I don't foresee me doing this for the rest of my life, right? Maybe I get to a point where I could be like, my goal be like Joe Rogan, where it's like, hey, I'm doing, I do 3 episodes a month, if that, or 2 episodes a month, right? Where right now we kind of have the same thing. Head down, we're grinding. I like to talk to everybody in different spaces and try to produce as much content in different genres, right? We have the breakdowns, we have the Mighty Journey, we have the live instant reaction, we have the MightyCast. I love it. I can see where you're coming from and not try to get passed up from the new wave of Twitch, which brought, kind of hits on what we started talking about at the very beginning, is the change of beginning IRL, gaming, now it's back to IRL. And then, if trends go like this, it should go right back to gaming, and then you'll be right where you're at to begin with.
Good to go.
So you stream you stream 7 days a week, all day, every day. You wake up, you have breakfast, you come in the game. Do you ever do any exercise or anything like that? Or you're like, fuck it, I'm just sitting?
I've had like a fucked up back for a little while and neck, right? So I have some like different exercises I do. I get on the treadmill. I do dead hangs in my doorway. But to be fair, I mean, come on, bro, I'm tiny. I do need to get into the gym more and actually do some working out. You know what I'm saying? I'll even have people every once in a while in the chat just like, bro, you need to get to the gym, bro. It's like, fuck, man, come on, dude. Why are you gonna do me like that? But that's just the very basic level stuff to make sure I'm not in pain, really.
Gotcha. And it's every day, just 7 days a week, just grinding all fucking day.
Yeah, I just have 7 days a week, and then I just leave myself the availability to take a day off whenever the fuck I feel like.
Okay,
really,
that's good.
And if I want to do a half day today, I don't feel like streaming at all today, but they just don't happen that often. I'm a very routine guy. You know what I mean? I like to do the same things every day.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I know you love mixed martial arts.
Yes.
Okay. What you think about the landscape right now in the UFC and all everything in mixed martial arts? How you feeling about it right now?
Dude, did you see? Oh my gosh, bro. I mean, I don't know about like landscapes between like, I'm not sure like what are great fights like to be made right now and stuff like that. But I do know that wrestling is crazy. Wrestling, dude, I never thought in a million years, it's so funny. I'm watching the fight DDP versus Hamzat.
Yep.
And I'm telling my chat, I'm like, bros, DDP's just riding this round out right now. He's letting him get tired. Oh, he's just not trying to get out and exert a lot of energy. He's just trying to wear out Hamzat. And then Hamzat just never stopped.
Yep.
And it was crazy, bro. My jaw was on the fucking floor that whole fight. I couldn't believe that Hamzat was controlling the champion like he was just a journeyman in wrestling the entire. Bro, I'd never seen anyone take so many unanswered strikes ever without a ref calling it.
Yeah.
Okay. And I've never seen anyone get wrapped up in a crucifix that many times in a single fight either. So it was really crazy. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, first off, I'm happy that you were entertained by that type of style of fighting, because there was a lot of people in our world who's very criticizing of, oh, he's boring, he's just grappling. I'm like, guys, you know, I kind of went viral and I got, not in trouble, but a lot of fans hated me on this, where I was like, guys, if you don't want to watch wrestling, if you don't want to watch an athlete who's just going to wrestle his way to a championship, don't watch it. You see this right here? This is a controller. Turn that shit off. And everyone was like,
dude, for real.
Everyone's like, I paid $89.99, $7.99. And I was like, hey, newsflash, fuckface, I did too. And you know what I hate? When I paid for something, I hate seeing fucking commercials, right? I hate it. I hate commercials. That's why I have YouTube Premium. That's why I have Twitch. You know, when I did watch a lot more Twitch, I have Twitch Prime, right? Or Twitch Turbo, right? So the fact that you were impressed and you were excited and your jaw was on the ground after what Hamzat did to DDP makes me happy, because you know, you've been watching mixed martial arts for a very, very long time, so you understand what he was doing, right? So
it was crazy, dude. It was absolutely insane.
Absolutely crazy. Who are your favorite fighters to watch right now?
Oh man, I mean, Topuria, obviously, is one of them. You know who was great, dude? The Michael Chandler Paddy Pimblett fight was fucking wild too. Paddy Pimblett, he went from like, you know, damn near, you know, some would say losing a fight to Jared Gordon, to fucking to smoking Michael Chandler, dude, with ease. So I'm really interested in seeing Paddy Pimblett's next fight and seeing what he can do with that. Because, bro, he was cooking him. I see what I'm doing. Hey, I'm around it too much.
You're around that new wave. You're part of the new wave, baby. Yeah, you're playing games today. Chat, I don't know about this, man. I'm so fucking cooked. They're like, yeah.
But yeah, that's Pimblett is looking really, really good in his last fight. I'm always interested in seeing how Sean O'Malley is going to come out and fight, you know, because it's a sucky thing to get beat up by Merab a couple times, you know, because that's like, dude, that fighting style is really rough for anybody, and especially Sean's style, right?
Yep.
So I still like to watch Sean fight. He's really fun and all that stuff. Merab as well. I like to watch Merab fight too. He's super funny when he fights. That dude looks like he's like going to like a circus when he walks into the cage. Just all smiles, happy, moving around. He knows he's about to beat ass. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy, you know. And when he fought, who was the
Umar Nurmagomedov?
Yeah, you know exactly who I'm talking about. That was a crazy fight too. I couldn't believe that he gassed out and Merab didn't too, and that was like the real big difference maker. That was a crazy fight too. I'm interested in a few different ones, but yeah, those are some of them.
What do you think?
What about who are you listening?
Oh, I love watching all those guys you said. I mean, right now they got Merab. He's about to take on Corey Sandhagen. You got Alex Pereira.
That's right.
Yeah, you got Alex Pereira about to fight. You know, I might be dating his second fight against Ankalaev. You know, for me, when it comes to watching mixed martial arts, it's all about the stories. Like what happens to this athlete? If he beats this athlete, what does he do? And for me, now being retired, you know, I like to think about, you know, how soon do athletes retire, right? Like how much more do they keep on fighting? How much money do they need? What is, you know, for me, at one point in time, it was to be the best in the world. And then once I became the best in the world, I kept on defending it. But there has to be a point in time where it's okay, I got to start transitioning away from fighting. And I'm fascinated on when athletes start to think about that. When, like, you know, when I look at Merab, he's beating everybody in the UFC as right now at 135. He's about to fight Corey Sandhagen. If he beats Corey Sandhagen, I'm not sure who's next. So I think Merab's about 34, 35. If he fights for another 2 years, he'll be 37. I think that's and he's successful. Perfect time to be like, I've made enough money. I'm not married. I have no kids. I have investments. I don't
legacies intact.
Walk away. right? So that's why I'm attached to his story so much. Same thing with Aljo, same thing with Ilya. I feel like Ilya is that unicorn.
Oh yeah, Aljo.
You know, he's a unicorn where it's like, hey, I'm here for maybe 5 more fights, then I'm done. I retired at 32. That's what gets me excited about fighting. Not obviously it's the fighting itself, but the stories for me bring more joy of watching to see what's going to happen. So
I get you. I get you.
Yeah,
that's cool. That's really cool. I like that too. I mean, you got a little story. You're starting a little story with some people too that I saw. Death Sentence and Wing C, right? Yeah, I've been watching some of that stuff. Yeah, that's super cool, man. I love it.
Thanks.
I love it.
Thanks, man. That's one thing we're trying to do with the channel is, you know, when I was streaming full time on Twitch, my channel never grew. I don't know why. Maybe because I was trying to be that variety streamer. I didn't really pigeonhole myself into like just playing UFC 4 to build my fan base. But then once I switched over to YouTube full time, that's where my viewership took off. And then I was like, okay, well, I don't want to give a channel where it's just me breaking down videos all day, every day. And I was like, okay, so we start
some different stuff.
Yeah, I want to do different stuff. And I was like, you know what? We had Death Sentence on, and the chat was like, hey, you know, the producer, this is all his doing. He says, dude, if this gets over 250,000 views, we gotta train him. And then I'm a man of my word. If I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna fucking do it.
Heck yeah.
That fucking thing got 650,000 views. We flew him out. Damn. We trained him. And then now, you know, I just talked about, I think a week and a half ago. And then the second time we brought out Wing C, and Wing C's been doing good. So now it's kind of like we're able to produce these things. And I think the long-term goal for us, and me and the producers have talked about, is like, I want to make short films. Like I want to make short films where it's like we all love horror. I love action, combat, military style. So that's like my end game, where it's like, we'll still do that, but we're going to really focus on like, hey, we're going to do short films. And then maybe one day, like a goal of mine, I'm going to put it out there. My wife says, put that energy out there to make a movie where it's like, hey, it's a 90-minute movie, a horror movie, whatever it may be, right? Low budget, I don't know. So, but yeah, man, I appreciate you watching the, you know,
sounds crazy.
The training arc, man. I'm glad you enjoyed that.
Yeah, dude, it's super cool. I seen you knock out Wing C with a crazy kick. Yeah, you still got some crazy snap in that kick, man.
I gotta keep with that new wave, Summit, or gotta keep with a new wave, baby.
Yeah, you did. That was crazy. Yeah, that's been a fun one. I'm glad you got something like going a different direction, almost like that's a different way for sure. That's a real cool one.
I appreciate that, man. Well, I know you got a gaming stream to get to, so before I let you go, first off, thank you so much for taking the time, man. Like I always, like I said, man, this is my passion right here. Like I could talk gaming, the industry, the ups and ebbs and flows with all gamers, right? So I appreciate taking the time. Summit, this is your opportunity to let people know where they can find you, how they can support you. The floor is yours, brother.
You know, you can just check me out. Socials, Summit1g, you know, twitch.tv and then x.com. Those will work. Damn. I appreciate you letting me have the shout outs, brother.
Oh, of course, man. I'm sad I had to let you go because I feel like we're just getting started. We got into mixed martial arts.
I hate that there had to be a time of today. I apologize about that. There was a big one today that I have to get to.
What is this one, real quick? What's this?
It's Borderlands 4.
Is this a new one coming out?
Yeah, so Borderlands 4 is not released yet, and they're going to allow. We weren't even supposed to talk about it, which I accidentally leaked it to my channel yesterday. It's like I don't know exactly. Do I have the thing? I don't know. I'm doing it with someone, like 3 other people or something like that. Lyric, Burnt Peanut, and Shroud. Okay. And myself, we're all going to play Borderlands 4. I think we can only play like one mission or something like that because they don't want us to showcase the whole game. So we're going to, so it's going to be fun, to be honest. I actually just got done playing Borderlands 3, so it's right up my alley.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, boys,
there we go.
If you guys...
Hey, man, thanks for having me, brother.
Oh, of course. Yeah, boys, if you enjoyed this episode of MightyCast, please leave a like, subscribe. Also, hit the bell to go live. And please do yourself a favor. Go give my man Summit1g a follow. This man is putting out some amazing content and playing many different games. We will see you guys at the next episode of the MightyCast. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the MightyCast, and we are going to recap everything we just went through with our guest, and our guest was Summit1g. We have to call this part the Mighty Recap. Now, I know you guys are probably like, why is he talking to a gamer? We want to hear the next athlete. Relax. I like to talk to people who fascinate me, and right now, I feel like the gaming space is just in a weird space. You know, I started streaming about 13 years ago when 12 years ago when Tyron was born. I started streaming on Twitch, playing Mega Man X, just playing all different types of game. And Summit1g was there as well. And in the very beginning of the streaming infancy, it was all about IRLs, in real life streams, where people would stream pretty much their life. And Justin.tv was the first one I got exposed to. And people were doing crazy streams where it would be a full-blown party, they're drinking, you have girls jumping off the balcony into the pool. And then eventually Just.tv switched to Twitch. And then Twitch kind of put like a code of conduct in place. That way they can try to get some sponsors and try to get, you know, legit backing. And then eventually it got purchased by Amazon. And then now Twitch is just this huge behemoth where at that time, gaming was probably at its best when it came to streaming, because you had, you had Echo Fox, you had, just Major League Gaming, you had Call of Duty, you had H1Z1, you just had such amazing gaming content. And now when you look at Twitch or you look at the streaming space, you have that new wave that Summit was talking about. You had guys like Kai Cenat, you have iShowSpeed, where it's more about the IRL streams. You have Rampage Jackson, who's doing kick streaming. It's not even about gaming. They really don't play games. They just stream their in real life, where their streaming is that, in my opinion, and this is coming from my wife's mouth, and it makes sense, it's not realistic, right? What they're doing isn't real life, right? Like obviously what iShowSpeed is doing, he's kind of touring the world right now. He's doing the American tour, so he's doing everything in America, but that's not everybody's real life. So she's like, I'm not gonna watch it because that's not real life. Like real life, a kid should be working, but they'll be working, right? Or even Kai Cenat stream, like it's not realistic for a guy to have like 8 other dudes around him to play games. It's something that it's a short span of time. It's not a long period of time. But at the end of the day, they're putting on content. It's a show. So it's that new wave of generation where Summit1g, he's grinding right now. He has his head down. He wants to be around after this new wave because, I'll be shocked. I mean, I shouldn't say that, because Rampage Jackson is fucking 47 years old and he's still out there dating, doing these streams, hanging out with girls and doing Taco Tuesday and shit. But I couldn't imagine myself being 45 or 47. But then again, I'm married. I have 3 children. I'm happily married. So it's just it's different, right? In the beginning, it was IRLs. It went to gaming. Now this new wave, it's all about IRLs. So I wanted to ask Summit, what his thoughts were on that, because he's been there since the very beginning and he's still there grinding after 14 years. And even Rampage Jackson, at one point in time, he was streaming almost every damn day, playing games like, what's that game called? Rainbow Six Siege. We've actually played together. UFC, we played that together. But now he's kind of left the game behind, because off record, he told me that's where the money is the IRLs, because people want to see outlandish shit, him doing crazy stuff. It's very fascinating because for me, I don't care to see that stuff. But then again, I'm also older. So for me, seeing the new wave of streamers show stuff like iShowSpeed, I like his streaming stuff because he's going around there. He's racing people. He's kind of doing certain things. He's, experiencing different cultures. So it's very fascinating to get that viewpoint from Summit. And also, Summit is a huge mixed martial arts fan. He's been following the sport. He's actually done some mixed martial arts content with One Championship. I believe he's done some stuff with the UFC as well. So he's kind of really big in that space. We didn't have enough time to talk to him and ask him what his thoughts were on the $7.7 billion deal that UFC signed with Paramount. So hopefully one day I'll be able to get him back on the channel and ask him, because, he's been there. He talked about it. At the very beginning of the UFC, there was no rules. There was no you know, you can do whatever you want. You can punch people in the balls. You can fish hook. You can do pretty much what you want. You would have a guy grapple for a very long time because there's no time limit like Horse Gracie. And you look how things have changed. Now there's certain rules, certain weight classes. There's time limits now. The whole aspect of it has changed just like it did in the streaming space of Twitch. So hopefully we get it back on here, but he had a gaming stream. And that was the thing too. A lot of people don't realize once you become a content creator, whether it's in YouTube, streaming on Twitch, Kick, or whatever it may be, the very beginning, it's a passion. A lot of people think they quit their day job like, I'm going to be a content creator, and they think they're going to make it. You might make it, but you're going to struggle. But if you have the mindset that you're going to be a content creator while having a full-time job, then you have fun with it. It's almost like that release from that 9 to 5. But then eventually you get to a point where you start, if you're good at it, your passion, you're able to monetize it. Once you're able to monetize it and you start making more money than you do at your full-time job, then that's when you go, you know, all in on the passion that you're doing. That's how it was for me when I started fighting. When I was fighting the best in the world in WC and even the UFC, I was still working because that paycheck that I was getting every single week for $400 outweighed that, you know, $12,000 check I got if I beat Miguel Torres or if I beat Ki Yamamoto, because all it takes is one injury from the mixed martial arts world and I can't compete anymore. But I can always go back to my day job making $10.76 an hour. But there came a point in time where I was making enough money from fighting where I can leave my day job. And when I was at my day job, I enjoyed the training aspect, and I still do. But I think a lot of people get, you know, a lot of things lost in translation. Like, I want to be a professional fighter. I want to be X, Y, and Z. They quit their day job and they think they're just going to ride off in the sunset and be successful in that. So I love to hear Summit say, like, I worked at a shitty, you know, LAN server place and I kept on streaming, and eventually I started making great money. The sponsorships started coming in. The paid partnerships started coming in. I was making more money doing this than this. I left this and I'm still grinding, and I don't want to fuck up this opportunity. So that's why he continued to still grind. So guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of MightyCast. It's a little bit different. But if you guys are here as the Mighty Recap, I appreciate you. I think it's very important to be different in the space and do different interviews and show a different side of me where you guys can see the passion of me talking about gaming, how it bubbles my life or how bubbly I get. So boys, if you guys enjoy this episode of MightyCast, please like, subscribe. Also, hit the bell to go live, and we will be dropping more banger podcasts like this outside of the space of mixed martial arts. I want to get Tally on here. If you guys don't know who Tally is probably one of the biggest streamers when it comes to World of Warcraft. This man has played every single expansion from Burning Crusade, the Cataclysm, Mr. Pandora, you name it, he's played it in World of Warcraft. And World of Warcraft was a big part of my life growing up, you know, in the very beginning of my career. And that's, you know, that's the only game my wife gave me the ultimatum. She was like, it's either me or World of Warcraft. And I left World of Warcraft, but then I became a streamer and I started playing World of Warcraft again. You see, I did that. So boys, we will see you guys at the next episode of the MightyCast. Peace.